Good evening. You're listening live to the Extreme Movie Show. I'm your host, Rob, broadcasting to you as always from the Extreme Studios in the Pinos Palace, just west of Orlando, Florida. I have joining me tonight for Tulsa King Season 2, Episode 4, Heroes and Villains, the one and only RDV from the Great Midwest. Tonight, RDV, kind of a different episode, a little bit of a pivot, kind of. I mean, nothing bad or
Well,
whatever, but some new
kind
characters, definitely some different developments going on in here.
of addressing some of the concerns we had, some of the past issues about Manfredi's attitude. So I did. There were certain things that happened here that I thought was good. Some character growing, more bonding sessions. The aftermath of last week's episode,
Mm-hmm.
especially with Goody not helping Chicky out and not bumping off at Manfredi. Instead, he saves Manfredi's life. Now he's all paranoid because he thinks that somebody's following him. He goes to the hotel room and his car keeps going back and forth. And he's like, what's going on? He's like, they said the guy hit him because he betrayed Chicky. Uh, so he's kind of shaky, kind of hiding out through this episode. But not only that, this episode, it really starts off with, I think his name is it Jay?
J.
Yeah.
That's the little J.
Yeah, he basically is, he volunteered to go along with Bigfoot. I can't remember what his name is.
Bigfoot.
Is it Bigfoot? Okay, cool.
That's what they call him. Yep.
Because I'm like, that didn't sound right, but I guess it is right. Yeah. They'll drop off Carl's body in the middle of the driveway. And then of course Frank Grillo's character Billy comes across it. He's pissed off. So consequence of that. So Bigfoot drops off Jay at his parents' place. He crashes there. His dad's having issues with the car. We get to see his dad again, the alternator. He's trying fixing it, and he's too busy to care. He's like every millennial kid or above, or Zoomer kid now. They're looking at their phone. And they're like, "Oh, would you say something?" "Yeah, Dad, I was listening." We kind of all go through that phase a little bit now. It's just that the new thing is that we have the smartphone for hand. But and he offers to give his dad money, and his dad says, "No. It's like, And at first I thought his dad was going to say, like, "I don't want your blood money," But his dad didn't go that route. His dad ends up leaving because and he says he's like, "I'll buy." I say, "Dude, you want me to do my laundry here? Let me at least pay you, for a new van or something like that." His dad takes off. So it's just a little moment with his dad. Just remind you that his dad is still around in the series. But obviously he's kind of you can tell he's kind of messed up in the head a little bit. He just witnessed a murder. Well, he didn't really witness it, but he helped them dump a body.
Yeah,
that's just as bad. He's wrapped up in it now. The other thing going on here too is we have forgive me, Joe Pesci character. Armando.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah, whatever. He basically is now becoming an informant, and whether he wants to or not, for Carl Thresher.
He really seems weak now, doesn't he?
Oh my gosh! And honestly, I wonder. I really wonder if anybody else knows what's going on with him, because all of a sudden he's dressing nicer. He's got more money.
Is. Good observation there.
Sunglasses. He's acting. He's acting like he's not. He's less of a dick to everybody, which I thought was interesting. So obviously, and then I don't know what he thought was going to happen. He was so happy to have the money and stuff. And then Cal comes up. He's like, here's some more money. He's like, what they're going through. He's like, what? And he's like, but where's one more thing? Where does Manfredi get his weed from? And he's like, oh shit, because now he knows. Now he's a snitch.
And he knows he's a snitch.
Yeah. And so now he's in trouble because if he's Manfredi ever finds out, he's gonna kill him. But other problems are now is that Manfredi has to go now after talking to his he comes home, he wants to go lay down. His sister has been up all night, and she basically gives him the third degree, which he kind of needed, because he was starting, and she says, what happened last night? It's like, something happened. It's like, there's, we got a security, a big old guy out there, and are we in trouble? And he's like, no. He's like, so, and she's like, don't you freaking lie to me. And I kind of like, she calls him on his bullshit and says like, wait, you bumped off a made man, and she's, and then what do you think was going to happen? We're all here now. Now we're targets, and it really sets him straight on this. And he promises, he's like, I'll take care of it, and he has to go. Then he picks up Jay, and they got to go, or him and Jay get together. They got to go down and talk to Bodhi and the rest of the group, and basically he's like, I hate getting a speech and all, and Jay's like, well, give it to me. It's like, and let me do it. He's like, no, I got it. And he's gonna tell them, and then Bodhi realizes like, what, we're in the shit again, and Bodhi freaks out a little bit, and he justifiably he does. But I mean, also at the same point, it's like you're in a mob gang now, girl. What do you think is going to happen?
What I want to say about this scene here early on, because you mentioned a couple key things. This is the way I was starting to see the episode. So we're getting to be about halfway through season 2 here, and you mentioned a comment about how this episode addresses some concerns we had that we've been bringing up, and I'll let you fill some of those in. What I noticed, to your point about like Armin dressing better and all that, obviously his money's going to good use. Obviously there's going to be a resolution, a falling out, a recalibration after whacking somebody, which I'm glad they showed the emotional impact on everybody, because you're right, everybody's got this nice pot farm. Most of them aren't hardcore thugs at all. We don't know that any of them really are, but we just know that they're loyal, and it seems like a fun family with each other. But you're right, they fucking killed somebody, they're laundering money. They're bad people in that sense. So I know it's a feel-good kind of thing with everything. But what I saw here was Tyson basically saying, I'm going to Big Daddy Pimp here. Like he's starting to feel it a little bit, right? He's not just hanging out, driving around, getting some money, thinking it's cool and it's fast and all that too. And even though he's loyal, we haven't seen him do anything disloyal. But the point is, we're watching Stallone view each of his different players in his family, how they respond in situations. Like he asked Bigfoot, how'd Tyson do? Is he shook up a little bit. He's like, all right. And Bigfoot was fine. Okay. And he's not a major player at some point. I think he will be. But now we look at Tyson, who's been around, since early on. He's the one that's been with them the longest. He's the one that knows the most. He does a great job rallying the troops here. But there's that point of Stallone looking at him and going, I'm watching you because I'm not going to have anybody take me over. You've got to think he knows what Armin's doing and all that, and testing him in a way.
Not even that. I think
number one.
I think after having the talk with his sister,
Mm-hmm.
And just realizing, that he has issues and stuff, and he's a hothead. And
he acknowledges his temper.
Yeah, he does his temper in this issue, and this is issue. I'm used to comic book, sorry. In this episode, and he sees Tyson. He's like, well, his big thing is he doesn't want to corrupt Tyson. That's the big thing. Tyson is his own man, but he looks at Tyson as being like a son to him.
And he's already corrupt.
Yeah. So Tyson, because the group are kind of floated, and he sees Bodhi, and Bodhi is like, really, we're in this shit again. It's like, it's like I can't go through this again. And he's like, and blah blah. He's like, that's it, I'm out. And so he runs in the room, and instead of Dwight going after him, Tyson says, no, I'm gonna go. I'll handle it. He's like, dude. He's like, oh, bro, what's going on here? It's like, you think this was gonna be all lollipops and sunshine stuff? It's like, there's gonna be good days and there's gonna be some shitty days, but there's gonna be more good days. It's like, but he's like, if you want to leave, this is the door. You get out of here. So he basically tells him as it is. He's like, you want to leave, you leave. We're not gonna whack you. This isn't the thing. But then Bodhi, he nuts up, comes back in, and he just, and this, I love this because they're already that crate now. This is the tension because he already blew up in the general's face a little bit of this. They have to go over to the wind this Indian reservation farm, meeting this other guy, and where they're gonna have the wind farm there and stuff. And of course, we get the scene with Armand, talking to Thresher. So that's gonna throw a kink in their meeting. Mm-hmm. But along the way there, though, what was really cool is that you get to see you have Garrett Hedlund's character, Mitch, the barkeeper. They got, I believe, Tyson's driving, and then you got, Stallone's character in the back, along with Bodhi.
High as fuck.
Yeah, and yeah.
All those
So those great.
lollipops.
That's right. Whenever I see his photo here to the right at me,
Mhm.
his hand is. I keep thinking he does a lollipop there, because that's what he was doing. This he had one after he had a lot of lollipops, and he starts talking about just random things, and then like this whole car scene there on the trip there, the bonding scene is really great. He busts his Bodhi's balls a little bit. He's like showing like he's like, hey, it's like we're good, right, and just like Bodhi's he's got a stick up his ass. That's just what his character is. But he's slowly come around to having friends. That's what I like about his character. He's got some character growth. So he asks you like, hey, he's got earbuds. Like he's like, what do you listen to? And he says fish. And of course, Stallone's like, that's bullshit. If I ever hear bullshit, you can't listen to fish. They're fish. And he's like, and Mitch is like, no, PH. He's like, what? He's like, oh. He's like, listen, there's some real music, and I forgot what the name of the band was he put on. He's talking about
The point is, though,
on the road
it goes
again.
into this great explanation,
Yeah.
but at the end, it doesn't fucking matter because he's high and there's no point to it. It's a nice piece of acting.
And he's like, guys, I fell asleep in this club, and I'm deaf in my ear. It tingles, and it tingles. It says stop tingling. And it's like freaking hate this band because of this. And I love it. Like the whole argument is like, Bodhi's like, you can't get a band because of your poor decisions. He's like, heck, I can. It's America. I can hate what I want to hate. And it's like, I love that. Yeah. So that this went nowhere. And like, and Mitch is like, yeah, no more lollipops for you. So they get to the little weed farm. They go there in the reservation there, and of course we already have we have the son, the Indian chief or Native American, whatever you would call it, whatever is. The chief's son is there, and he's giving them lip, blah blah. I hate white man, bigotry, blah blah. Until his dad basically pulls him aside, and just almost he might metaphorically whacks him upside the head, tell him to mind his manners. Because
this scene is about respecting boundaries, who's in charge here, and coming about it in a professional business manner, which you see them doing.
Because Cal Thresher reached out to them before. Now they have the younger son, they has an idea of how much their stuff's worth, how much you gonna give us more instead, They originally Grillo was 20%, and he's like, they want more, and he's like, how about we work out together? They tell you pause, they calm down. Even Tyson was starting to get defensive, and that's kind of out of.
He's getting a little chirpy, yeah. He's not acting Tyson-like, which is why I said he'd already given the great positive speech and all that too, but now he's feeling his oats instead of knowing his role and shutting his mouth and letting the man do it. That's what I liked about this episode. Yeah. You see that happening with some of these characters now.
So they eventually come to agreement on that, and they meanwhile, like I said, we talked about Goody. He basically thought somebody's following him. He sees the same cargo with the I call these the rice burners because that's basically what they are.
Yeah.
The stupid spoiler on the back, and he goes down there. The guy gets out of the car, and next thing he turns around in the trunk. He turns around. He's got a gun in his mouth. Goody's got a gun in his mouth, and he's like, "Oh, who are you, sent you?" He's like, "Uber Eats, bro." He looks at the package on there. He's like, "Oh my gosh." He's like, "I'm sorry. I thought you're somebody else." And he's just like, so he's jumpy. But the other big revelation on here is that because Chicky is in trouble because he had promised Billy that that Goody was going to help him take out Carl, take out Manfredi, but it didn't go the other way. So he gets a phone call, and he says, "I'll talk to you later. I'll go fix this." And then they start drinking. Chicky gets a little drunk and confesses that he killed his old man.
Kind of, sorta.
Yeah.
He alludes to it.
He alludes to it
about how his dad was in there, and they're like, "What the fuck is he saying here?"
Because he says, "I'm not weak," It's like the old man as his hair sings up, and as he's kicking it under the water and stuff, and they're like, "Oh shit!" So his right hand man, I forgot what the guy's name is, but he's like, he ends up picking up after Chicky passes out. The other guy goes home. He locks the door. There's a phone call, and it's Billy. So this guy answers. He's like, he's like, "What's up?" Like, "Oh, Chicky's sleeping one off," whatever. And it's like, and we got some stuff we need to talk about, but I can't talk about on this line. So Chicky might be in trouble because if Chicky killed his old man and they suspected this, Chicky's gonna get bumped off. There's gonna be a coup, power play there.
I just thought he would be. I just thought he would have more screen time, unless it's going to happen later. Because his whole speech to his number 2 guys, he's not liking the fact these guys aren't respecting him. And every time we've seen him this season, and even some of last season, for the most part, it's about, hey, I'm the man, I'm the man. And they're like, yeah, sure you are. And then he becomes the man. You're like, man, this guy's a badass. Then he's not doing anything, and then he reminds them all in his own way, hey, I sort of am. But he's just getting his ass beat in a way. So I think he's just going to flip. I don't know if he's going to get whacked.
I don't think he's going to get whacked. I think he's going to flip his lid. He's going to go Kingpin style from Daredevil and just like start taking out anybody who doesn't like him. He already shot one guy, you know. So what's to stop? He killed his dad. What's to stop him from taking all the other guys? They say, hey, I'm in control. You know, because Chicky's he's kind of cuckoo out of the nest, bro. He's kind of not all there. But I don't know. That's gonna you're gonna have a conversation with that. Meanwhile, Cal Thresher back at his little weed farm thing. He's talking to he's got Chinese immigrants going over there working with him. He's also got I think his name is Jackie Ming, is his name. He's another guy, and Cal's basically pissed off because hey, what's this shit in the middle of my field here? He's like, it's Poppy Field. Poppy. He's like, he basically tells like, dude, where I get in trouble, I get in because I found it. What's stopping anybody else finding? He's like, and the guy's like, no. Dude. So he's like, I don't give a shit. You get rid of it, and take care of it, get rid of it. And this guy basically does not like Cal. Obviously, I'm guessing this is the triads or something. Probably whatever.
Well, we had heard earlier in the season about on the radio or something about Chinese people coming, so we were getting the third player that we talked about, and we saw them potentially focusing in on this guy Jackie, who's now a player now.
Yeah, who looks like a very young Bolo Young.
He does. I don't think he's Bolo Young's son or anything, but I'm like, yeah. I mean, oh my God.
He basically they're pulled out to the wheat field there, and they meet again later on that night, and he's like, wait, are the pap fields out? No, I'm getting to it. But first, we got a problem. Two guys tried stealing from you, and we're gonna solve that. So he has Cal has a guy basically translate. He's like, hey, I brought you to America. I gave you the fucking American dream. And it's like, all I asked was just don't steal from me, And now I give an example. Of course, what does Jackie do? He pulls out a gun, shoots two of them in the head, getting blood over you see it. I love the camera zoom again on Cal's special boots, his leather boots, snakeskin boot, or whatever.
Snakeskin cowboy.
Yeah, whatever. And the blood splats on him. He's like, and Jackie's like, now you see what happens when you force my hand, and basically telling so. You would be great if Chicky and Jackie started working together.
Well, and this is where I was wondering, because the theme that I saw was people kind of feeling their oats, the younger ones. But in here, we both see a number 2 with an alpha, whether, it's Cal or Stallone, with people kind of testing with here, because it's like, oh, you're going to do that to the guy that's really in charge of you? What the fuck? Mm-hmm. But it makes me wonder. And I just wonder if Chicky's going to come in there, whack somebody, and they're going to fight, or they're going to combine forces. Because like I say, to me, I think the show's best one does 2 things. One, the family thing's cool. We've said that's what we've enjoyed with Stallone. But also, I like it when they feel a little bit pressured. And at the end of season 1, to me, they really didn't feel that way till the last, say, 2 episodes, maybe 3. Just off the top of my head, I remember going at the end of the season, it had to end seriously and do it well, and they did. So here we got that kind of middle of the season feel to it, where like last week was kind of fun and it was kind of cute. This one's not as fun or as cute, but it's interesting. Yep. And I don't know where it's going to go. The only thing in here too is that because of this deal, it's interesting because the one thing about Stallone is that he thinks he knows how to do everything, and I still don't like the fact he represented himself and got himself off on the court thing. I think that's bullshit. But the point is he automatically has the right idea, but the executing of it, like with Bodhi having to really be the numbers guy, telling him all the stuff's an interesting angle they haven't really dipped into. Mm-hmm. But this deal with the Indians for the wind farm isn't going to be as glamorous as it looks, because they have to go to the car salesman guy, and they're trying to get him out. Man, that's a real steep price. It's like, well, I've got some licenses that happen to be with me, and those are their own valuable assets. That's almost like being a monopoly in a way. So we don't know how that's going to play out. So they're introducing another angle that we know is going to be significant.
Yeah. Mitch basically has a sit down heart to heart kind of a conversation with him, and he's like, "See, the problem is that you're like Christopher Columbus," and I love it. He's like, "Is that some kind of racist Italian bullshit?" he's like, no. It's like you were always chasing after the next big thing, and that's where you like being in the middle of being excited. It's scared out of your mind. You love that adrenaline rush, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's because it's a life we live. After that, they go talk to the car dealership and they make a deal, and they're gonna have until Mitch can basically take over. They're gonna have the guy stay a little bit, and then he's gonna be gone by December. He's gonna go to Florida, and then Mitch is gonna be running the car dealership. So that's cool. The other thing is that we have no Gina Delany in this episode, but we do have Billy's wife. We get this beat Billy's wife. I
didn't think she was bitchy here or unreasonable.
No. She comes up. He's out at the range shooting in his gun, and she's like, "Hey, Carl's wife called. Have you seen Carl?" And he continues ignoring because he's messed up over that. Because he bitched at Chicky about, "Hey, my wife could have seen that. That's in the middle of our driveway. And he's pissed about that. He's his right-hand man, the guy he trusts the most, is dead. His best friend is dead. So he's messed up in the head. Now he's lying to his wife, and he basically kind of snaps at his wife. He's like, "I don't know." He's like, he's the old man. He's like, and she knows. Because is he coming home? She asked me, is Carl coming home? And he's like, "I don't know."
He's not going to tell her.
Yeah, but she knows that he's dead.
Yeah.
She can't be with him and not know what the stuff he does. I don't think she's that stupid, naive. I think that's one thing I like about the women on here. The women aren't stupid. They don't really go now. If they were to show Tyson's mother more, I think they'd also show that Tyson's mom knows what's going on. But for all the females that they're showing here, all the female, even his daughter, his sister, Billy's wife, the cop and all stuff. Everybody knows what's going on. So nobody's stupid on here. And so I appreciate that. Like I said, overall, a very interesting, and actually, it's kind of like the old man. Remember the old man? We said it was all in one room, and like that. It felt almost like a filler, but it wasn't. It tells you what you need to know. So we got these second in commands who, one of them's dead. Carl's dead. Chicky's second in command. It might be staging a coup. We know that Goody, Dwight's second in command. He's fucked up. He basically, he could go to jail for that. The guy, the Uber guy says, "Yeah, that guy here pulled a gun on me."
Right.
Yeah, he can go after him with that. And then we also got Cal Thresher's, I guess partner. I guess but I mean, this episode's going to call the right-hand man.
You could have called cows eating grass in the field.
But I mean,
you could have called Stone get high. You could have called lots of things.
I thought it was good though. It said it had a little bit of comedy, but also had a little bit of seriousness to it, and which is needed because he needed a reality check because, like I said, him taking on his case by himself was reckless.
Yeah,
everything he's doing, bumping, even though the guy Carl tried to bump him up, if anything, Goody killed him first. Dwight didn't do anything. Dwight just stood there. It was Goody that killed him. So what's going to happen with Goody? Is Goody going to get in trouble? Armand, something's going to come down the line where he's going to get in trouble too because he's going to want to know. Because Dwight's going, how did Cal find out about the deal? The only person who would know was Armando.
Yeah, I think that they'll tie some of this up at the end of the season. I really don't know what to expect. I do appreciate the fact they're only dropping one episode a week. That gives us time to kind of gel on it, not get too far ahead. I'm going to ask you this really weird question about the show and Stallone's character. I know that Stallone himself was a little surprised that the intensity of filming, stuff like this, even though it's only 8 episodes, because he's obviously used to mostly doing films and being in control and stuff.
Mhm.
And I'm sure he has a hand on a lot of things, and he's helping with his daughter, and it's passion project. I know he was half joking but half serious about, man, I'd love it if the series could move to Miami and all that. If this continues like Yellowstone or some of the other spin-off shows, all 12, 15, 20 of them, whatever it is that he's got going or in production, they make a lot of money. People come and go. Some of the big stars make big money. Kevin Costner immediately comes to mind. I can't see the show continuing without Stallone in it, like they would kill him off. Because a part of me goes, I can see them killing Cal off, and Frank Grillo's character, who seems kind of wimpy now to me. But a part of me goes, I can't see why they'd get rid of Chicky, because Chicky's number 2 guy, the guy that they're kind of teasing that he might overtake him. He's the one, I think, that they got into the fist fight in the first episode or 2 in season 1, where he knocked him out or something, or punched him or like that, like fuck you or whatever, like he got screwed over. So I guess it's possible. But the point is where the thing that's disappointing me right now watching it, or I'm not seeing it, is the other families, the other factions in here outside of Stallone's. Right now, they don't seem very strong. They seem all chaotic. They seem to be in the same place as his group. And so I just wish one of them felt menacing. Cal Thresher started off that good, but he's been going downhill ever since. Ever since he got emasculated with Dana Delany, right? Ever since this episode here, where the guy basically shows up and like, Cal, bro, I was buying your act, but you appear weaker and weaker to me as the episodes go by. Same thing with Chicky.
Yeah, I want to point out something. Every time I see Garrett Hedlund's character Mitch, if you watch Justified City Primeval, there's an actor named by Boyd Holbrook who is the main big bad villain. He wants to be a country star, and he kind of looks a little bit like Mitch's character, And every time I see that, I'm reminded of that character, and I kept thinking about it, it's like how great that was. A bit
like Brad Pitt in Saw, or not Saw, in Seven.
Yeah, so I kind of like the fact that you have a character like that in here too. I mean, he's very loyal. And anything, he's the new second command. Goody's was from the old world, the old So I take it back. Goody's not his second in command. It's Mitch. Everybody knows it's Mitch. Mitch is like his brother to him.
It feels like it, doesn't it?
Like a younger brother,
So it hurt even more if he screwed him.
Yeah. So. But I don't see Mitch being evil, but man, wouldn't that be a plot twist if you had Mitch just went the way? It's like, sorry, Dwight.
He's the one that's going to be running.
I needed the money.
Yeah. Hey, I just don't know how they're gonna pull that off. So,
and if it's all in Mitch's name, or like he could take over and stuff, yeah. Because especially because here's again at the end of the series, you got to take out the New York mob. You got to take out the Oklahoma mob. You got to take out Tulsa mob and Cal Thresher and the Chinese, and just leave one person survive. Mitch. Wouldn't that be great?
I just don't know if in Yellowstone and these other shows, if that's what Tyler Sheridan does.
I don't know. I don't watch those shows.
I know, but I'm just saying that they never just keep it with 2 or even 3 factions, right? So I'm wondering if they're going to be introducing another one, because we have the Chinese one now as well, right? So you technically have 1, 2, 3 factions going on. So I just keep waiting for the lady faction to show up too, like Dana Delaney's character, and maybe whatever. I want to see like a girl boss kind of thing, right?
Dana Delany, we still don't know much about her. We know that she doesn't like Cal Thresher, but she knows him. Is she a legit business owner, or does she have her own thing going on?
She's got her own thing going on. Come on.
And because originally we speculate, well, maybe she knows Billy. So I would have if she's like Billy's sister.
I don't know. It is cool that we're speculating on it, though, right?
Yeah,
I do like that. Yeah.
So I honestly, it's a lighthearted kind of like drama, not much really a thriller, but suspense in a sense, because you don't know who's gonna. It's just like who's gonna betray who, whatever, and it's with everybody. All the second commands kind of betraying everybody. It really builds into Stallone's kind of like his paranoia, schizo, anger, So I love that, the whole theme of that, You're paranoid, but you're also angry at the same time. What we have to do? Betrayal. Everybody's betraying everybody in this episode.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I look forward to the next one. Very fun show. Like I said, we can speculate for hours what's going to happen, but we'll find out next week. And we're only on episode 4. So we got 5 next week, and then we got
Yeah, a couple more. Yeah, it'll pan out. It's interesting because just when you think it's leading towards something, they introduce subtly of some things, then they build upon it. So it's constantly shifting, which I do appreciate. Not all those details are going to pan out or work. I think sometimes it's hard to pull off, but it's been entertaining enough to do it. And I think that's a fine line to manage, especially when you generally want to like Stallone because it's Stallone, right? So we'll see. And I'll have some thoughts about some of the other characters next episode because I suspect some things I'm not going to bring up right now.
Grace was in this episode because she has got the flu.
Yeah. All right, so we've got a new poll up here on Extreme Movie Show channel.
We do have a new poll up there. Put it up this morning. And I regret putting the Wolfman in there because, geez, you guys just ignore the lesser knowns and go straight for I recognize that one. So I'm a little salty on that because I'm like, man, I really want to do some of the other ones because this will be the 3rd time we reviewed that movie on this channel.
Well, all you're saying is the Wolfman's very popular right now, but we've still got almost a week. The next Sunday when we go live to decide which Universal horror movie we're going to be doing here, because there's also Invisible Man and another rare one actually that you put up.
So this week's poll, we have we were at Universal. I was trying to get that, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to reach out to Paramount because I want to speak to Dr. Jekyll. and maybe get a little bit Mr. Hyde in this poll action.
I watched the Russell Crowe movie. Damn you, Universal.
So that's at 25% right now. I'm looking at the Man-Made Monster, which is from 1941. That also has Lon Chaney Jr. Yeah, dude. Honestly, it's Lon Chaney Jr. I want to try it out. It's my guy creates a guy, basically a glowing man. And he has Lon Chaney has to put in a suit because he basically comes to Electro. For those who watch Spider-Man, and then you have the Wolfman. The Wolfman is in 63%, taking everything, and it is crazy. But you know what though? Maybe this time around the Wolfman will get some respect because that's the one thing when we do movies in here. A lot of the stuff we did before wasn't doing so well, because there wasn't many people watching. But now there's a lot of people watching now again. So we do recommend that you guys go vote for Dr. Jekyll, and we'll find out on Sunday. Well, I'll know Saturday night what I'm scheduling for Sunday, but check out for that. Also check out for Sales Lot Review, probably dropping around tomorrow night. And then on Thursday,
version, correct?
Yes, it's 2024. Which is currently streaming on Max. And then Thursday night we're gonna have another drop. Hopefully, Pixel's gonna drop Forever Night review that you guys did, recorded offline, and then come back on Sunday because we'll have the more Columbo
live.
Yes, Columbo will be live. Then we'll have the newest episode of The Old Man, and then whatever movie wins the poll. With that being said, though, if you guys do like this, content, please we ask you that you subscribe. Make sure the notification bells is turned on, and so you get all the notifications. Because I know some of you guys show up late for these things, or you don't get notifications. Just make sure the bell is rung, and that you actually have settings turned on. You can also leave a comment down below to help out the channel. Tell us what you thought of this episode. But that being it, we'll see you guys on Sunday.
Good night now.
Good night, guys. Thanks for watching.